Welcome to our deep dive, all about alien life. We've got a ton of cool stuff to go through today. We've got some great sources on everything from, the science behind the search for extraterrestrial life. You know what might actually happen if we ever actually did make contact with an alien species? So we're going to try to cover all of that today. But I think a good place to start is, just how likely is it that there actually is life beyond Earth? I know there's billions and billions of stars out there.
Yeah.
But, is that enough?
Well, I think it helps to really try to picture it. There are literally over 200 billion galaxies out there. And each of those galaxies has billions upon billions of stars. So
I can't even imagine that.
it's almost impossible to wrap your head around, right?
It really is.
But when you think about those numbers, it seems pretty unlikely that we're totally alone in all of that.
Right. It does kind of feel like it would be statistically impossible almost.
It really does.
But when we talk about alien life, do we mean little green men?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
We really should be thinking about life in two different categories.
Right.
Simple life
Right.
and then complex life.
So simple life would be the bacteria or
Right.
those extremophiles they found living in volcanic vents and stuff.
Yeah. The extremophiles are like the ultimate survivors.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Right. We found them living in the harshest conditions imaginable. Scorching heat, freezing cold
I
water.
saw that thing on those deep sea.
Yeah, and acid, acidic environments. Crazy stuff. And that's just on Earth.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So imagine what could be out there on other planets and moons.
Are there crazy bacteria aliens?
Well, we don't know for sure, but it's definitely possible. There are places like Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter. It has these vast oceans under its icy surface.
Oh, wow.
And then Enceladus, too,
Enceladus.
which is a moon of Saturn. It has a similar situation.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of scientists think those places could be prime real estate for at least some kind of microbial life.
Finding alien bacteria, that would still be a huge deal.
Oh, absolutely. It would be a monumental discovery. Rewrite our understanding of biology and our place in the universe.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be like the little green men we see in movies.
Right.
What about those more, complex life forms?
Yeah, that's where things get a lot more complicated. You see, those extremophiles show us that life can exist in all sorts of extreme environments. But complex life, like animals and intelligent beings, it requires a much more specific set of conditions to evolve.
Yeah.
You need a stable climate.
A protective atmosphere?
And a lot of time, probably.
Exactly. Billions of years of evolution. It's not easy for complex life to arise. It's like winning the cosmic lottery multiple times in a row.
Wow. So if it's that rare,
Yeah.
how do scientists even begin to, calculate the odds?
Well, they use something called the Drake equation.
Oh, the Drake equation. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So this equation is like a recipe, kind of.
Okay.
It lists all the ingredients you need for intelligent life to emerge and make contact.
Okay.
But here's the thing. We still don't know how much of each ingredient exists out there in the universe.
So we have a recipe, but we don't know if we have all the ingredients.
Exactly. It's a work in progress.
So that's where all the detective work comes in.
Exactly.
How do we actually, what are we actually doing to find signs of alien life?
Well, there are a few different approaches.
Yeah.
We're sending robotic explorers to other planets and moons, like the Mars rovers.
Yeah, Perseverance and Curiosity. They're actively searching for what we call biosignatures.
What are biosignatures?
Those are chemical traces
Okay.
that would suggest life existed in the past.
So they're looking for evidence that something was once alive there.
Pretty much. And they're also planning a mission to Europa soon.
The Europa Clipper mission.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It'll have instruments to scan Europa's icy surface for potential signs of life.
I can't wait for that one.
And then, of course, we've got our powerful telescopes, both in space and on the ground. The James Webb Space Telescope, for example, is amazing. It can analyze the atmospheres of distant planets to see if they have gases that might indicate life.
Oh, so they're looking for oxygen or...
Yeah, things like that. So we've got a lot of eyes on the sky, so to speak. This is an exciting time for astronomy.
It really is.
But telescopes aren't our only tool. Remember those giant satellite dishes listening for alien radio signals?
Oh, yeah, SETI.
SETI is still going strong, constantly scanning the skies for any radio signal. That might be artificial.
Oh, like from an alien civilization.
That's the hope.
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
It really is. But even one artificial signal would be groundbreaking.
It really would.
It would mean we're not alone.
Wow. So, like, what about the future? Do you think we'll be able to actually, like, take pictures of planets?
Exoplanets?
Yeah, exoplanets. That's the word.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Technology is advancing so quickly, I wouldn't rule it out.
What about, like, private companies? Like, will SpaceX get involved in the search for life?
Who knows? Space exploration is becoming more and more accessible.
That's true.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
It really is.
And who knows what we'll find out there.
But so far, we haven't found anything definitive, right?
Right. That's the strange thing.
Yeah.
With all this searching, we haven't found any hard proof of alien civilizations yet. So the question remains, where is everybody?
That is the question, isn't it? Yeah, it's almost like a cosmic ghost town, you know? We're looking out into this vast universe, and it seems like it should be teeming with life, but we haven't found any concrete evidence yet.
Exactly. It's one of the biggest mysteries in science. It's called the Fermi paradox.
The Fermi paradox.
Yeah, and it basically says that given the size and age of the universe and the probability of life existing elsewhere, we should have found some evidence by now, right? But we haven't.
Right. So where is everyone?
That's the million-dollar question.
So what are the theories? Like, how do scientists explain this?
Well, there are a few possibilities.
Okay.
One is called the rare earth hypothesis.
Rare earth hypothesis. Okay.
Which suggests that maybe the conditions that allowed complex life to evolve on Earth are incredibly unusual.
So, like, we're just, like, super lucky.
It's possible. Maybe we really did win the cosmic lottery, and the recipe for intelligent life is way more complicated than we think.
So, like, all those planets and stars out there,
Yeah.
and we just happen to be on the one that, like, hit the jackpot?
It's a possibility. But there are other theories, too.
Okay. What else is out there?
Well, there's one called the Great Filter.
Great filter. That sounds scary.
Well, it's a little unsettling, yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So the Great Filter theory suggests that there might be some natural barrier that prevents most civilizations from reaching a certain level of technological advancement.
Like what?
It could be something catastrophic like a global pandemic, nuclear war,
Oh.
or even some unforeseen technological disaster that wipes them out.
So they basically self-destruct before they can, like, reach out to other planets.
It's a possibility. Like maybe there's a point in a civilization's development where they become capable of incredible things,
Okay.
but also incredibly dangerous things. And they just can't get past that point.
Wow. That's dark.
Yeah, it's a bit grim, I know.
So maybe all those alien civilizations are out there,
Yeah.
but they, like, blew themselves up.
It's a possibility, but there are other explanations too.
Okay. What?
Well, how about the non-interference principle?
Non-interference. Okay.
Yeah, this one's a popular idea in science fiction.
Okay.
It basically says that advanced alien civilizations are out there. They're watching us, but they deliberately choose not to make contact.
Like, they're just observing us.
Maybe they're waiting for us to reach a certain level of, technological or ethical development.
Like a galactic zoo?
Kind of. Or maybe they just don't want to interfere with our natural evolution. That's a fascinating idea, right?
It is.
But, speaking of fascinating ideas, what about all those UFO sightings we hear about?
Oh, yeah, the UFOs. Are any of those worth taking seriously?
Well, you're right that most UFO sightings can be explained away as, mundane phenomena.
Like weather balloons and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. But there are a handful of cases that are a bit more intriguing.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Like cases where the evidence is compelling enough to warrant further investigation,
Okay. Give me the details. What are some of these unexplained encounters?
Well, one of the most famous is the 2004 Nimitz encounter.
I've heard about this.
Yeah. So U.S. Navy pilots off the coast of California reported seeing this strange object hovering and maneuvering in ways that seemed impossible.
Wasn't it, like, shaped like a Tic Tac?
Yeah. That's what they called it, the Tic Tac UFO.
And they track it on radar and everything.
Exactly. They had multiple pilots witnessing it.
Wow.
And they even captured it on an infrared camera.
So it wasn't just like a blurry photo or something?
No, this was like military-grade equipment.
Okay.
Recording an object that was exhibiting capabilities far beyond anything in our current arsenal.
Didn't they say it was moving incredibly fast, too? Like faster than anything we've ever created?
That's what the reports say.
Okay, that is freaky.
It really makes you wonder what kind of technology could produce those kinds of movements.
I know, it's like, what even is that?
And that's not the only unexplained encounter we have on record.
Oh, really? There's more?
Yeah, in 2017, the Pentagon declassified a series of videos that had been circulating for years. They showed what they called UAPs, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena.
UAPs, okay.
And these videos were taken by military aircraft, and they show objects moving in ways that seem to defy physics.
Defy physics? How so?
Like they dart through the air, make instantaneous changes in direction.
Like really sharp turns and stuff?
Yeah, and they even appear to disappear and reappear.
Like teleporting?
It's pretty wild, right? They don't behave like any known aircraft or technology we've developed.
I mean, you hear about these stories, but to think that, like, the military is taking them seriously enough to, like, release videos and stuff?
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
And there's one more case you might find interesting.
Okay, hit me.
So in 2017, astronomers discovered the first interstellar object.
Interstellar, so, like, from outside our solar system.
Exactly. It was passing through our solar system, and they named it Oumuamua.
Ooh, I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it was this long, cigar-shaped object,
Okay.
and it was tumbling end over end.
Okay.
And its trajectory and acceleration couldn't be fully explained by, conventional physics.
Oh, so it was, like, moving in a way that didn't make sense.
Exactly. And this led some scientists to speculate that it might actually be an artificial object.
Artificial, like, made by aliens.
That's what they thought, like maybe a derelict alien probe.
Wow.
Or even a functioning spacecraft.
I remember there was a Harvard astronomer.
Oh, you mean Avi Loeb?
Yeah, Avi Loeb. He was, like, really pushing that idea.
Yeah, he wrote a whole book about it.
He did,
It
yeah.
was very controversial,
It was, yeah.
but it definitely got people talking.
Okay, so we've got unexplained aerial phenomena witnessed by military personnel, mysterious objects defying physics, and even a possible alien artifact cruising through our solar system.
It's a lot to take in, right?
It really is.
It really makes you wonder if all of this is pointing towards something bigger,
Yeah, like, are we really alone? And if we're not, what happens when they decide to make contact, like open contact?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it?
Yeah, how would humanity even handle that?
It's something we need to start thinking about.
Yeah, because it could happen at any time.
You never know. It really is a lot to think about.
It's almost too much, We've gone from talking about tiny little microbes on distant moons to the idea that advanced aliens might already be out there watching us. Like, what if they decide to just drop the act and make open contact? How would we even handle that?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? It's something that scientists, philosophers, science fiction writers, they've been grappling with that question for decades now. And you're right, the implications are huge. Like, just imagine the ripple effects across, every aspect of our world. To start with politics and global governance.
Yeah, could you imagine, like, world leaders finding out that aliens have landed on Earth? I mean, would we see, like, some moment of global unity where everyone sets aside their differences? Or would it just be, like, total chaos?
I mean, that's like the ultimate test for humanity, isn't it? Would we, rise to the occasion and present a united front? Or would we just fall back into all those old patterns of mistrust and power struggles?
I could see countries scrambling for alien technology or alliances or, even just trying to get in the aliens' good graces.
Exactly. It could totally destabilize the whole global order.
And what about, like, our belief systems? What about, like, all the major religions? How would they deal with confirmation of alien life, especially if those beings were, technologically or maybe even spiritually more advanced than us?
Right. It would be a huge shift in our understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. Some religious frameworks might be flexible enough to adapt to the existence of alien life, but for others, it could trigger a real crisis of faith.
Brings up all those big questions about the nature of God, creation,
Exactly. Like, where do we fit in if we're not alone in the universe?
And even beyond the theological implications, just think about the everyday impact. Like, what if these aliens came bearing gifts? What if they shared their technology with us?
I mean, the possibilities are kind of mind-blowing. We could see breakthroughs in medicine, energy, transportation, stuff we can't even imagine right now.
Right, but then there's also the risk, right? Like, imagine entire industries becoming obsolete overnight because alien technology is so much more advanced.
Oh, yeah, that's the flip side.
The economic upheaval, the job displacement, like, it could be pretty chaotic.
Absolutely. It's not just about the cool gadgets. It's about the whole fabric of society being reshaped.
Yeah, and it wouldn't just be our technology that changed, right? Our
Yeah.
culture, our art, our music, even our language could be transformed.
For sure. Like, Would we see a fusion of human and alien cultures? Or would our own identity be threatened?
That's a tough question.
It really is.
Yeah.
Would we be excited to learn new things and embrace new ways of life? Or would we kind of cling to tradition and fear, losing what makes us human?
Right, like it's a balance between embracing the unknown and preserving our heritage.
Exactly.
And then, of course, there's the biggest question of all, like, would we even survive first contact?
Right. I mean, Hollywood has given us plenty of reasons to be wary of aliens.
Yeah, like what if they're not as friendly as we hope?
It's the ultimate unknown, isn't it?
It is.
We really have no way of predicting how an advanced alien civilization would behave.
Right, like miscommunication, cultural misunderstandings, even just perceived threats could lead to conflict.
Exactly. And given the potential technological gap we're talking about, the consequences could be devastating.
It's a sobering thought. But on the other hand, maybe they come in peace. Maybe they offer to share their knowledge and help us solve some of our biggest problems.
Yeah, that's the optimistic scenario.
Right, maybe they've figured out how to live sustainably and could help us with climate change.
That would be amazing.
Who knows? But even in the best case scenario, I think it's safe to say that contact with an alien civilization would be like the most transformative event in human history.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it would challenge everything we think we know about ourselves, about the universe, about the nature of reality.
It would be mind-blowing.
It would be.
And the search for answers continues. We're still out there looking.
Well, this deep dive has certainly given me a lot to think about. I don't know about you, but I'm probably going to be looking up at the stars a little differently tonight.
I feel that.
Just wondering what else might be out there.
It makes you feel small, but also kind of connected to something bigger.
It really does. And who knows? Maybe someday we'll finally get those answers we've been searching for. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep those minds open and those eyes on the skies.